Let's see the type of music we can make using a pencil. Let's import our 3 sounds. Let's crop all 3 sounds. Let's add some lows and cut off some highs for our kick sound. We're going to do the exact opposite for our hi-hat sound. Let's boost the middle frequencies of our snare sound and export all 3 sounds. It's reasons like this why we would bang our pencils against literally everything at school. Or was that just me who did that? Let's crop our kick sound and pitch it down. Repeat the process with the snare. Let's crop our hi-hat. Drop in the comments, what was your favorite subject at school? And lunch does not count as a subject. Let's cut off some high end for the whole kit. Let's add some reverb. Drum kit sounds like this. Let's see the type of music we can make using a dial-up modem. Ironically, I downloaded the Internet Startup sound from the internet because I wasn't alive to actually experience this sound. We're going to crop the file so we're left with this. Let's cut off the high end and let's export the file. I cannot believe we made it to 50 episodes in this series. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. And let's try and keep this going as long as we can. Let's crop the sound. Let's set the root key to A sharp. Let's run this through an amp. It's an electric guitar. Of course it's going through an amp. Why do I say the same thing every time? Let's turn up our low mids and turn down our high mids. Let's add some reverb. Now we got an electric guitar. Let's see the type of music we can make using Super Mario Bros. Let's import the Mario jump sound. Let's crop the file. There's a pitch, so that means we can tune it. If we tune this to one note, it sounds like this. Let's isolate the middle frequencies. Let's export the file. Let's crop the file and set the root key to A. Let's take this sound, play it 2 octaves lower, and we get this. Let's run it through a distortion plugin. Now it sounds like this. Let's run it through an amp. What preset do I want? Let's go British Clean 2. Now we can play Metallica. Let's see what type of music we can make using a car horn. Import the car horn. Let's stretch the audio so it has a longer sound and crop it. Turn the clip volume down. I'm hearing 2 pitches here. So G sharp and a C, so this should be interesting. Let's add some reverb to the sound. Let's take some of the high end away so we can hear the bottom pitch more. Now let's export the sound. Open up our sampler. Set the root key to G sharp. Turn the volume back up. Add some more reverb so we can get a warmer sound. Use a maximizer to turn the volume up a little more. Cut the high end so we can get more of the lower tone. Don't know why, but I feel like being under the sea right now. Let's see what type of music we can make using Taco Bell. Let's import the Taco Bell sound. This is going to be a challenge because I'm hearing 4 pitches and they're all coming at me in different spots. Let's isolate the low end. Alright, that low E is starting to come through a little more now. Let's add another EQ. Let's run it through a bass amp. We're going to export this sound. Now we can see the pitch. Now the sound's been tuned. If we take this sound up 3 octaves, 1, 2, 3, sounds like a chime. Let's add some high mids. Let's add some reverb, and now we can play Carol of the Bells. Let's see what, Let's see what type of music we can make using Minecraft. That was bound to happen at some point. Let's import the piston sound. Let's crop the file. Here's our first sound. Let's isolate the high mids. This will be our second sound, and we're going to cut off the high end. Make sure to go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm 53 subscribers away from 1,000. Let's pitch down the kick. Here's the other sound. Let's take that first sound and pitch it up. Let's turn down the length for the brush sound. Sounds like this. Let's add a compressor, a tape delay, and some reverb, and here's our jazz kit. Let's see what type of music we can make using a bag of chips. Let's import the bag of chips. Let's crop the file. Let's take off the high end and add some low end. That's going to be our kick sound. Let's export the kick sound. Let's do the exact opposite for a hi-hat sound. Now let's export that sound. Can't believe it's episode 40. And as usual, if you have a sound you want me to try and make music out of, let me know in the comments. Let's crop the kick, pitch it down and assign to this note. Let's crop the hi-hat sound, pitch it down and assign to this note. Let's take off some of the high end for the whole kit. I say the exact same thing every single time we get to this part of the video. So I want you to drop in the comments, what phrase do I say right here? And now our drum kit sounds like this. Let's see what type of music we make using Super Mario Bros. So let's go ahead and import this sound. There is a pitch at the end here. Slide this over. Now we just have pure tone. Now let's go ahead and export this file. Let's import the Mario Ba, or now it's more of a Mario A. Let's crop the file and let's set the root key to E. In the older versions of the game, when they use the Ba, they would use the let's import a bass amp and set it to vintage. Let's add some reverb. Now we got a bass. Let's see the type of music we can make using Team Fortress. Let's import the Team Fortress critical sound. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but I thought the TFT stood for Titanfall and not Team Fortress. Let's cut off the high end for our kick. Isolate the middle frequencies for the snare. We're going to use that sound again for our hi-hat. Thank y'all for the continued support in this series. It's episode 90. And as usual, if you have sound you want to try to make music out of, let me know in the comments. Let's pitch down the kick and turn down the high end. Let's pitch down the snare a little bit. Let's pitch down the hi-hat and turn it down. Okay, so the hi-hat sounds more like a ride cymbal, so let's import the hi-hat again. Pitch it up and turn down the length, and now we have this sound. Let's pan the ride cymbal to the left and the hi-hat to the right. Let's add some reverb, and the 808 sounds like this. Let's see what type of music we can make.
Chicken jockey!
Using the Minecraft movie. Let's import Jack Black.
Chicken jockey!
Let's go ahead and let's tune this sound here. Here's what the tuned Jack Black sounds like.
Chicken jockey! Chicken jockey! Jockey!
One octave lower than that though. And now here's our bass. Let's see what type of music we can make using Minecraft. Let's import the XP sound. Let's crop the file and fade it out. Let's cut off the high end. Let's try and isolate that note a little more. Okay, there is a reason why this note isn't showing up here. I can still hear the E flat, so I think it's fine. Let's pitch this sound down 2 octaves. Let's add a chorus effect. Let's add a reverb plugin. The lower down I go, the more I hear a major third ring out on top of the original note. This sounds like a really old cathedral bell. Let's see what type of music we can make using hair clippers. Let's import the clippers. Let's cut off some high end and some low end. Let's run it through an amp. It's an electric guitar. Of course it's going through an amp. Let's add some distortion. This is probably the comment I get in most of my videos asking me what DAW this is. It is called Reason 12, and personally it's the one I like the best. I had to get it for a Berklee class 3 years ago, and I just kind of fell in love with it, and now it's the main music software I use. Let's export the hair clippers. Let's set the root key to G and crop it. Let's up our mid-range so we can get more tone. Yep. Now I can play Smoke on the Water. Let's see what type of music we can make using a pool cue. Let's import the pool cue. I can already tell that this is going to have good kick drum properties. There's a sentence I never thought I'd say. Let's import the sound of the pool ball. Let's export both the sounds. I forgot to EQ the sounds. That's how long it's been since I've done this. Let's cut the highs on the kick. Let's add some low mid on the cue ball. Let's pitch down the pool cue. Let's repeat the process for the cue ball. Let's turn down our low end and turn up our low mids. The entire kit sounds like this. Let's see the type of music we can make using Minecraft. Let's import the creeper sound. These are the two sounds we're going to use. Let's isolate the middle frequencies for a hi-hat. Let's do the same thing for this other sound. Let's do an 808. I haven't done one of those in a while. Let's crop the file and pitch it down. Our snare sounds like this. Our snare beats can sound like this. Let's change the snare beat so it's this. Let's pitch it up and our hi-hat sounds like this. Let's pitch up the hi-hat a little more. Let's turn the volume up. Let's add a tape delay so it sounds more vintage. Add some reverb, and here's our jazz kit.